This video might make you very, very angry. Every single fandom, if you leave it alive long enough, eventually starts eating itself. It gets so hungry, filled with its tummy, it just doesn't know that it can't stop eating. Oh, it's so good. I think it's the natural life cycle of every single fandom on the internet. It starts off beautiful because everybody's discovering something together. Somebody finds a cartoon, a manga, a game, a movie, Beetleborgs. Suddenly there are forums and fan art and theories and stupid arguments at 2 in the morning, favorite characters, favorite episodes, people meeting lifelong friends because they both happen to love the same fictional idiot. I'm talking about you, Monkey D. Luffy. Then something magical happens. Years pass with the fandom within it, and the fandom gets older. Nostalgia starts hardening into rules. The preference for every specific person lets the doctrine of the fandom. I like this version better. Oh my god, the original Fullmetal Alchemist is much better than Brotherhood. This is the correct version. Then people start treating longevity, how long they've been in the fandom, as if they're an authority within the fandom. Suddenly, there's some guy who bought the first game in 2004. He's the Pope of the franchise. Pope of the franchise. New fans are ignorant. New games are fake. New writers don't understand the material like I do. New interpretations are disrespectful. Oh my god, every franchise sucks. Every franchise that eventually develops this kind of fandom, these entire people become obsessed with this idea that they understand it better than the creators, or they cannibalize the entirety of what it is. Your love is becoming this territorial nature over the property in itself, and it feels weird.
Your fandom probably isn't getting like fan art and fan fiction and music and stuff because you guys deem everything as corny and cringy and you expect way too much. First of all, like, the way that you guys treat artists is so evil.
I'm gonna try to be nice because I have a feeling that you're about 11 years old. But the term pro-ship simply means that you're not in favor of harassing people who ship different things. It means ship and let ship. Pro-shipping is the foundation of every single fandom and everything to do with fandom since the beginning of fandom. It literally just means that you stay in your corner and other people stay in theirs. Or we learn your fandom history and then do your math homework.
Let's talk about one of my favorite franchises and worst fandoms on the internet, Steven Universe. I've always found Steven Universe to be very, very odd. It's a strange example to me because it's a children's cartoon. At the end of the day, it is. But so many people became so unrealistically attached to the show in totality because it has a lot of important themes. You know, it's got empathy, got identity, abandonment, complicated families, core relationships, forgiveness, trauma, the uncomfortable reality that somebody can love you while still damaging you, because that happens a lot of the time. The show became massively important to LGBTQ audiences, especially younger people who were finally seeing relationships and identities represented in a huge mainstream cartoon. And then sections of the fandom saw that empathy and said, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna become Rose. I'm gonna become Pink Diamond. That's who I'm gonna become, just a piece of garbage. One specific instance was the Zami070 situation where a fan artist received enormous amounts of harassment of her artwork and interpretation of characters. You had storyboard artist Lauren Zook leaving, just leaving Twitter after getting dragged into aggressive shipping discourse surrounding characters like Lapis and Peridot. It was weird. It was very strange to see that. It was odd. You can't be having all these big moral complex just issues with space rocks dating each other, man. They're literally space rocks. Yeah, but they're rocks because women are hardcore, and that's what it is. That's the whole fandom behind it. You gotta understand the nuances behind them being rocks in space. See, they can be anything because the gender is an identity and a performance. So they're performing gender, but we're all just space rocks. We're all just star stuff and dust. And Steven Universe really conceptualizes that because we're all made of stars. You know that? Did you know that? And many arguments I've heard about Steven Universe, by the way, that was just one of the things I've heard. I want you to think about how ridiculous all that is, right? Think about this for a second. We have a show that tells you over and over again that people are complicated, communication matters, cruelty causes damages, and that understanding somebody really requires patience at the end of the day. Then parts of that very fandom respond by hurting and hunting down human beings because a drawing had the wrong body type, right? At some point, you have to say you have completely missed the cartoon. You have become the exact kind of person the cartoon is begging you to understand and grow beyond. And this is where the fandom gets scary, because once whatever property becomes part of somebody's identity, there's no disagreement. There's no point of disagreement. It's an attack. It is an attack. It's not the opinion on the ships. It's not your character interpretation is an opinion. No. Your fan art is no longer art. It's evidence proving whether someone else belongs in the community. And that's the issue I have with Steven Universe. It's become this cannibalistic thing. Could say the same thing about Undertale in totality. Undertale is the same to me in that variety. But I really want to talk about Dragon Ball. You cannot have a reasonable conversation with a Dragon Ball fan. You can't. It's impossible. It is impossible to have a reasonable conversation with a Dragon Ball fan. I mean this. I want you to ask somebody what the greatest Dragon Ball game ever is. Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is immediately gonna come up. I just want to point that out. And I want to say this right now. I love that game. But I also have been in recent tournaments in the game. And the game is broken and busted, and there's about 5 characters who ran at the top of every single tournament. If Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 released today, we would hate it. Actually, we do hate it because that's Sparking Zero. When Sparking Zero first came out, it had the same issues as Budokai Tenkaichi 3. The balance was terrible. Half these characters are broken. Why are there 17 Gokus? Why does this character barely have a moveset? There would be 8-hour retrospectives titled Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was always trash. And that's exactly what would happen. And I want to point this out. I think the sound design of Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is better than Sparking Zero. I think it's the biggest thing that people have an issue with. I think people don't want balance. I think people want a Dragon Ball game. They want a game where you can play as the characters from Dragon Ball Z. That's what they want. But nostalgia isn't always remembering the game. Sometimes you're remembering being 12. You're remembering your cousin sitting next to you. You're remembering summer vacation. You're remembering only owning 4 games, so you played only those 4 games instead of being overwhelmed by analysis paralysis of having 50 games in your PlayStation library, 100 games in your Steam library, and all these games and you just sit there on the menu because you don't know what you want to play because you're overwhelmed by decision making. That's the problem of what people don't realize, right? And the game gets fused with your childhood, so any new game has to compete with a memory that no developer on earth can recreate because you're actually looking for the memory instead of the game. And the actual series has the same issue. Why are we still arguing about Buhan versus Kid Buu? Why are we still arguing about this? Stupid argument. Buhan's obviously stronger. Not even up for debate in any capacity. Wanna know what's happening every time I hear this? We have people mixing anime filler, manga dialogue, guidebooks, games, mistranslations, TikToks, fan manga, and then like vaguely remembers Toriyama saying one giant cannon suit. Who knows? I don't know. It's just a strange thing that's going on. That's what people are happening. And to the people that are going to argue with me about the Kid Buu Buhan thing, I would like to just point something out, and I really want to ask you with my whole chest if you believe this. Super Saiyan 3 Goku right here, right? Couldn't fight Super Buu with Gotenks absorbed. Now, Super Buu was obviously stronger when he got Ultimate Gohan absorbed into him. We understand that. Super Saiyan 3 Goku could not fight Buu-Tanks. We grasp that, right? Cool. Super Saiyan 3 Goku could fight Kid Buu. You understand that? Super Saiyan 3 Goku could fight Kid Buu. Super Saiyan 3 Goku could not fight Buhan. They needed to fuse. Vegeta and Goku needed to fuse. I don't know why you would even assume for 1 second that Buhan is weaker than Kid Buu. It doesn't make any sense, like, retrospectively. And I know the issue is, because Kid Buu appeared after Buhan, people just assumed, oh, this is just a bigger threat. No, Kid Buu is just more reckless. He's just more reckless. That's it. That's the only issue. You got GT fans fighting Super fans saying GT scaling is actually higher than Super. Manga fans fight anime fans. People scream that, well, Goku became stupid. This is dumb. This is stupid. I don't understand. Then the other people say, well, Goku was always stupid, actually. He's never been actually smart. He's battle smart. This is the whole thing. Everyone wants Gohan to matter again. Make Gohan great again. Oh, make Gohan great again. MGGA. We gotta make him great again. This is what we want. This is great. And Gohan's not gonna become strong again. And then suddenly, his power-up is undeserved. Beast Gohan looks stupid. This is dumb. Everyone wants Piccolo to be relevant again. Then Piccolo gets a transformation. And everybody starts saying, well, what about scaling? Right there on scaling. Every decision has an opposition just waiting for it. Isn't it if we only enjoy arguing because at least you're talking to somebody because you're lonely? I didn't even forget about you guys. Let's talk about, oh, Monster Hunter, my beloved. Capcom, my beloved. One of my favorite franchises on the planet. Oh, Monster Hunter does this very same thing through difficulty and purity. Every generation eventually produces veterans announcing that the new Monster Hunter isn't real. Monster Hunter is not real. It's not real. Because real Monster Hunter, you have to suffer through very specific garbage every single time. You guys remember paintballs? You guys remember Slowly Gathering? Remember Preparation? Remember the clunky movement? Remember the longer animations? Remember all the harsh environments? Remember those, guys? Remember those? And those little pieces of friction are proof that the old games demanded more from players. And then World sucks. Everything's so smooth in World. It's stupid. I don't care if it's the biggest grossing Capcom game ever. I don't care if it makes my franchise a better thing. I want my horrible franchise to be niche and nobody to touch it. I want Capcom to make it and be financially bankrupt because I don't care about that. Bring back grinding. Bring it back. I don't care. Bring it back. It's too easy. I think it was Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. It was this game specifically, which is a very difficult game, by the way. I played it on the Wii U when it first came out. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate is extremely difficult, but people were complaining because they gave you base armor when you had no armor on to make the game a little bit easier so you could actually get through the game. G rank is still abysmal. It's still disgustingly hard. The game is very mechanically difficult to play, and underwater combat still sucks in totality, but people were wildly, and I mean wildly, complaining about the sheer fact that the matter that you had 50 extra defense in the beginning of the game. They said it was coward's play. It's funny because people will say, oh, you gotta make preparation matter, then complain when preparation takes time. Monsters should actually be dangerous. And then when we had the Fatalis and the Alatrion, these creatures were actually very difficult, but you didn't want to fight them because they were very difficult and required specific mechanics to beat them. I don't want the games to be difficult. This is stupid. Eventually, you're going to realize something is that some people aren't even asking for difficulty. They're asking Capcom to recreate the feeling of, you guessed it, being 13 years old and terrible at Monster Hunter. Capcom cannot do that. You have 20 years of experience now. You understand builds. You understand positioning. You can watch a YouTube guide 7 minutes after launch explaining mathematically optimal armor. Entire discords have just optimized and dissected the entire game before you even got to the boss. It's how fast the game goes. That's what happened. We don't have game guides or game facts anymore. We have this community sharing that's gotten so big that you complain that you're having a community. Of course it feels different. You are different. Pokemon and Star Wars are my two least favorite when it comes to this little generational warfare that continually happens. It's just Pokemon has been dead for forever. Pokemon's been always dead. Nothing's good. People hated things about Hoenn, then Hoenn became sacred. People absolutely tore into Black and White when it first came out, and now they're saying, yeah, Unova was the best reason to ever exist. Did you know that? Give it another decade and somebody currently playing Scarlet and Violet is going to say, you know, I think that Scarlet and Violet was the greatest game ever. I just want to say Scarlet and Violet is the greatest thing ever. It's just the best thing. Bring back the national decks. And that criticism's fair, by the way. Like, fandom's cannibalization doesn't mean corporations are very innocent. Developers make bad choices. Games launch very unfinished. Studios absolutely exploit nostalgia all the time. The problem starts when criticizing the thing becomes your primary way of participating in the thing. Star Wars is way worse. Overall, Star Wars is just way worse because there are now multiple generations who believe their childhood version of Lego Star Wars is the best version. There's original trilogy fans, prequel fans, specifically just Clone Wars fans who only like the Clone Wars. There's the Legends fans, sequel fans, television fans. Every group has a slightly idea of what Star Wars is supposed to be. Oh, also comic fans. There's also comic fans. They call themselves the Grey Jedi Society. I hate them the least. I hate them the least. Somebody dislikes a character within a franchise too. This happens with Marvel and all this other stuff too. People will actively harass the actor. All right. I think it was Kelly Marie Tran dealt with just racist and a lot of sexist stuff after The Last Jedi, and then it's just stupid. You aren't protecting Star Wars. You're attacking an actual person because the fake space movie disappointed you. Do you understand that? Your fictional character cannot read your comments. The actress reads your comments. And it's also not even the actress's fault. It's be the director and the character designer fault. Whoever wrote the character. You should blame the writer if you're mad about something. I go to a lot of anime conventions, and oftentimes I will see people that will hide that they enjoy certain shows from other people. It's very odd and disgusting to see. Because imagine you just watched Dragon Ball for the first time. You say, Gohan is my favorite character. And somebody immediately appears behind you. Whoo! Shoots behind you. And then they have this 400 power scaling dissertation. Imagine playing Monster Hunter Rise as your first Monster Hunter. Loving it. Then some veteran tells you it doesn't count because you use wire bugs. You know, therefore, you suck. I hate you. You're fraud. You're fraudulent. Imagine saying you enjoy the Star Wars sequels. And somebody suddenly says, yeah, You're stupid. It's dumb. It's dumb. Wanna know why this is so insane? Franchises need newcomers. If Dragon Ball is going to survive another 50 years, some 10-year-old is going to discover Dragon Ball through something you hate. Accept that. Someone's first Pokemon generation will be a generation you think destroyed Pokemon. That's gonna be somebody's first. You understand that? Somebody will discover Sonic the Hedgehog through the movies. And that's gonna piss me off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna make me a little bit angry, but I have to accept it. I gotta accept it. Understand that. You have to. Somebody will play Monster Hunter after World. Somebody's gonna start with Wilds. Somebody's gonna start with Wilds, and you're gonna say, "Well, did you know there's a PS2 Monster Hunter?" And they're not gonna care. They're just not going to care. You understand that, right? You understand? It doesn't matter if you said I've been here since 1998. Wonderful. Congratulations on your 28 years of Naruto service. Your retirement package is currently being processed, and you can leave the fandom forever. Being older doesn't give you ownership over somebody else's joy. You understand that? You understand that? You are disgusting. You can't humiliate every newcomer that comes into the franchise. You can't do that. You can't do that. But there are some times when cannibalism can actually become great for the franchise. Did you know that? Did you know there's a specific man, JD Legend, I believe they call him, the rattiest rat of all time, the most evil man on the internet, the man who understands the themes of slavery, grief, inherited will, dreams, fathers, death, oppression, and liberation, and then he will say, the Admiral agenda is finished, in the same breath. And that's the best part of cannibalism, I think. Imagine you're watching your favorite character have the most emotionally devastating moment imaginable, and somebody is measuring the sweat droplets to calculate the durability of how strong they are. I want you to picture that. Zoro fans fight Sanji fans, who fight Luffy fans, who fight Chopper fans, Admiral fans fight Yonko fans. Mihawk and Shanks debates will never end. It is beautiful. Oh, it's lovely. Power scaling is fun. Shipping is fun. Theories are fun. Tier lists are fun. I think the bigger problem is when you're replacing all these things, these games are replacing the story itself. Because you're no longer reading One Piece because you're invested in what happens. No. You're gathering evidence for the agenda. Because all that matters is the agenda. Also, shout out JD Legend, one of the greatest content creators ever doing on our platform. Please go follow that man. He is the GOAT. Really appreciate him. You're no longer watching Dragon Ball because Goku is fighting somebody exciting. You're waiting for evidence that validates your arguments that you've been holding and having since 2017. You're not playing Monster Hunter because Monster is fun to hunt. You're collecting proof that modern players are weak. This is stupid. It's dumb. It's not art anymore. It's ammunition. You turn this into a bullet. You're shooting it at people. You're spraying it up. It's basically a school shooting, but you want to be back in school because you're so obsessed with nostalgia. Then creators get trapped in this impossible machine where every possible decision is wrong. Change too much and you ruined it. Change too little, you're lazy. New protagonist, nobody asked him for. Old protagonist, let them retire. It's a hard game. It's an impossible game. Don't want to do that. It's an easy game. It's too casual. Too many casuals. Hate to see it. Oh, answer the mystery. Oh, bad answer. Don't answer it. Stop wasting our time. Continue to franchise. You're milking it. In the franchise, you abandon us. What do people want? What do people want? Eventually, it doesn't make any sense. Because the fandom, to me, all fandoms are this 12-headed creature. Every head is screaming a different demand, and all 12 insist they speak for the real fans because they're all just one big, amalgamous, chimeric, nasty filth creature that will make King Ghidorah recoil in disgust. By the way, King Ghidorah is the greatest creature of all kaijus. He's the greatest to ever do it. I'm gonna ask the fandoms to do something that I'm sure they've never done in their entire lives. I need you, whether you're part of Poly Playtime and you don't like the newest chapter, whether you think you understand FNAF theory to the greatest extent and the highest nth of the internet, whether you're part of Undertale fandom or wherever fandom you're a part of, whether you really like Gacha Yakuta, whatever it may be. I must say this with my whole chest, mind, and body. I need you to calm down. Seriously, calm down. You can love something without being the best security guard for that thing. You're allowed to dislike an episode and not hate the entirety of the writing staff. You are allowed to hate a game mechanic without saying whoever enjoys this game mechanic has lower intelligence, because I know a lot of people that really need that yellow paint. I know who you are. I grasp it. You are allowed to think your ship is better, your transformation is cooler, Ultra Instinct's the greatest, your generation was stronger, first generation, best generation, your character was the version of the character that was written better, and then you can close the app and eat something. Somewhere along this entire fandom culture, wherever it happened, I don't know where exactly, I can't pinpoint the exact moment, People started treating fandom culture as if it was either their citizenship or part of their genetics. It happened with goth culture too. Goth people acted like they were born goth and it was in their soul, mind, and body and spirit. You don't need papers, you don't need seniority, you don't need to pass a trivia exam before you're allowed to enjoy Goku punching somebody, right? You don't need that. Please stop demanding that every franchise preserve the exact emotional frequency and temperature and velocity of your childhood forever. You changed. The world has changed. Akira Toriyama is dead. The audience changed. You don't have to like every single decision. You can criticize things, be loud, make fun of terrible writing, argue about power scaling. Oh, this is great. You got fun with that. Just remember, there's a human being on the other side of the screen, and there are other people allowed to enjoy things differently than you. Once your love of a franchise requires harassment, purity test, gatekeeping, endless misery, and the inability to let new people have fun, you are no longer protecting your sacred fandom. You're killing it. You're actively ruining it. You are making this clubhouse smell so bad, nobody wants to walk inside. I'm talking about you, Smash Bros. Fans, specifically you Magic the Gathering fans. And I'm talking about you, Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans. You are turning something designed to entertain people. It's designed to entertain people, and you're making it exhausting to have community within that entertainment. That's all you're doing. You're doing nothing. You're doing nothing. You're not accomplishing anything. Please stop. Right? You can't have to do that. Fandom is supposed to be the fun part. Right? That's the fun part. The show is fake. The game is fake. Characters are fake. Arguments fake. The people, though. People, us, we, people, we're real. Please, for the love of everything, stop sacrificing real people on the altar of whatever fictional nonsense you do. Enjoy the thing. Laugh about the thing. Complain about the thing. Ben Grimm is the thing. Let somebody else love the bad sequel. Let somebody play the easy Monster Hunter. Let people like GT. Hell, I'll even let people think Kid Buu is stronger than Buhan. I'll let you do that. Have fun with that. Fandoms survive when people keep finding reasons to love something. They die when the people already inside them all spend all their time declining who is allowed to love it the right way. There's no right way to love a series. It's crazy. Just put the fork down. Stop eating each other. Remember why you're here in the first place. To watch Goku, to play Pokemon, to be a part of Luffy's crew, to be Nakama with Luffy. That's what you're here for, right? That's what you're here for. Anyway, don't really feel like standing up, to be quite honest with you. I have a Patreon. It's in the top comment, I'm sure. If you guys want to help me out, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. YouTube hates to pay me. It just doesn't like paying its creators in any capacity. But outside of that, outside Patreon that I have, I also will be at Youmacon at the end of October. It's gonna be super fun. Youmacon is an anime convention in the Midwest in Detroit. I'll be doing 10 panels there. If you guys want to see me talk and stuff of that variety, if not, that's cool too. Doesn't really matter to me. In any event, have a lovely day or night wherever you're at, and I'm out. Peace. Bye.
I'm your nigga night, be my loyalties low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you